How high performers actually use time off. Most teams think time off is something you take after you're tired, but high performers don't. They step away and recharge their energy before performance starts dropping. And everybody knows that performance drops just before burnout shows up. Research has consistently shown that cognitive performance declines well before people report feeling burned out. Decision quality, focus, and accuracy drops under sustained mental fatigue, even when people still say they feel fine. And that's the most dangerous part. The wrong way most teams use PTO. Most companies and inexperienced employees treat time off as a damage control. They work hard, they push through, they recover later. But delayed recovery is very expensive. And the studies on occupational fatigue show that when people postpone taking time off, they're far more likely to need longer vacation later on. So what high performers do differently? When you look at high performance across teams and industries, a few patterns repeat. They don't take random PTO. High performers who have experienced maybe burnout before don't wait until they are exhausted to take a vacation. They plan short breaks early and often in a systemic way. So they could properly recharge the batteries before they are completely empty. And productivity studies have also shown that top performers work in cycles, not in marathons. So focused work followed by intentional recovery. That's the key. That rhythm matters more than total hours worked. The other thing top performers do is they use time off to protect consistency. So high performers don't disappear for long stretches unless they have to. And they mostly care about stable output. They know that 2 days off at the right time beats 2 weeks off taken too late. And that's also why many high-performing product teams schedule short PTO immediately after major releases, not weeks later. So recovery is part of the delivery cycle, not a reward. And the third thing that the high performers do differently is that they plan recovery like they plan their work. So their deadlines are planned, their meetings are planned, their projects are planned, and high performers plan recovery the same way. And it's mostly because they understand that performance is cumulative. And why most teams fail at preventing burnout at the company level is the fact that they react too late. Managers notice symptoms of burnout like slower decisions, more mistakes, lower engagement, but by the time those show up, the cost is already paid. So the team leaders often say, "We didn't see it coming," but in reality, they just didn't have visibility. So this advice sounds so simple, just take breaks earlier. But people are bad judges of their own energy, and managers mostly see results and not the effort. So an unstructured PTO policy often makes things worse. For example, studies on unlimited PTO show that employees take actually fewer days off, not more, when there are no clear rules in place. So freedom without that visibility leads to hesitation, and people are not taking time off when they should. And then everyone thinks they're doing okay until they aren't. And this is where PTO data changes behaviors. High-performing teams don't rely on memory or gut feeling. They can look at patterns. So when you track when people take time off, how often they do it, and how it aligns with the workload, then you can see patterns that can signal burnout risk really accurately. Vacation Tracker already helps teams track time off automatically and accurately, but we have recently launched a set of new performance management features that use PTO tracking data as a signal to prevent burnout and to improve performance. Vacation Tracker Recharge looks at PTO patterns of your team over time to really highlight the energy trends that your team has and also to surface early signs of burnout. We also recommend better windows for rest for each individual based on their PTO data. And the goal isn't to take more time off in order to rest and perform at the highest level. The goal is to take time off at the right time, so each of your employees could easily perform at their highest level without needing to know how burnout prevention works or how high performers are doing it. The real takeaway here is that high performers aren't tougher. They don't push harder, and it's because they have probably already done it before and it ended in burnout. They're now more intentional with how they use their PTO. They don't wait for burnout to justify the rest. They use time off as part of how they stay consistent, and consistency is the main way to succeed. And that's why they keep performing when others burn out. So if your team only takes time off when things fall apart, that's not the motivation problem. It's more of a visibility problem. But once you can see energy patterns clearly, for example with Vacation Tracker Recharge, the way you plan work and PTO changes completely. So check out how we use PTO data to track energy levels of your team members by signing up to Vacation Tracker. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!